In today's lesson, we're going to be going over generic intervals between notes in music. Welcome to Concert Band Central. So as you continue in music, you've probably realized how exciting music can be when more than one note is playing at a time. Today, we're going to take a look at generic intervals, or how we measure the distance between two notes on the staff. This will help us begin to understand how different notes relate to one another. The first relationship we need to identify is when the notes are being played. Are the notes being played at exactly the same time? If so, we'll refer to that interval as a harmonic interval. This is easy to remember because the notes are being played in harmony, or at the same time. If the notes are being played in succession, or one note after another, we would refer to this interval as a melodic interval. It is also easy to remember since the notes are part of a melody, or one after another. The next relationship we need to identify is the distance between two notes. So let's discuss generic intervals. These intervals can be measured right on the staff itself. To determine a generic interval, start by counting on the bottom note. In our example right here, that note is going to be C. Counting that note as 1, count each line and space up until you reach the higher note. The number you land on will tell you the generic interval. So by starting on C and counting 1, 2, 3, our generic interval between C and E would be a third. Between C and G would be a fifth, and C and A would be a sixth. It is very important to remember that when you're determining generic intervals, you'll ignore all accidentals. So what this means is that a C moving to a C sharp would still count as a first, and a C moving to E flat will also stay as a third. Generic intervals can become very easy to identify since their orientation on the staff will always stay the same. For example, a third will always go from a line to a line or a space to a space. A fourth will always go from a space to a line or a line to a space. And with a little practice, these intervals can become second nature very, very quickly. Understanding generic intervals can become the building block of more difficult concepts later on, including specific intervals, inverting intervals, and eventually chords. So it's very important to practice this stuff as much as you can until identifying generic intervals becomes second nature. In the description below, I've linked an exercise that you can use to test your ability to identify generic intervals instantly. So in this video, we reviewed the definition of a generic interval and learned the differences between melodic and harmonic intervals. We also learned how to identify generic intervals on the staff. After spending some time on the exercise here, if you're confident in your ability to identify these generic intervals quickly and easily, you're ready to learn about specific intervals in our next video. We hope that this content has been helpful to you, and if so, you can help us out by hitting the like button below. If you'd like to see more content like this in the future, don't forget to click subscribe. It helps our channel out a lot. And of course, as always, if you have any ideas for future content or future videos, please let us know in the comments below, and we might take your topic and turn it into the next video that we'll use to help musicians continue to make music. I've been Matt from Concert Band Central. Thanks for watching.